Yeah? Yeah.
Oh, oh, caught in a bad romance.
Alright, we're good. Hello, people. It's us Strippers Game 9. I'm your host, Shanghai.
I am the host, Older Bro.
And we're back playing some Katawa Shoujo.
The Shoujo.
Yeah, Shoujo.
We're here with Umbrella Cake Logic.
We're going to show you.
Umbrella Cake Logic sounds so much like an album, like a musical album. Like,
hey, Mr. B.
Mr. B, you're not an octogenarian.
Actually, that's the next monsters in the next Resident Evil game. They're cake based.
But no, well, I was gonna say, what was it? The band like DNCE who did "Cake by the Ocean." That sounds like the album title for that song. Umbrella Cake Logic. But do you know what an octogenarian is?
Someone who specializes in like octopuses.
Okay, you at least I'm proud of you. That is the second option or the second guess that like I could imagine a lot of people make. Octogenarian is 80-year-old or like someone in their 80s.
Okay.
So, octo meaning 80, not specifically as in octopus.
So it's someone who studies people in that age range?
No, it's a person who is in that age range.
Oh.
They are 80.
Oh, okay.
So, it's an old person who's 80 years old.
Did you read that last line?
No idea.
This one. Little random one, Gillis.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about it. Dang.
We aren't made of sugar.
And spice and everything nice.
Oh, I was gonna say watermelon sugar.
I thought that's exactly what girls are made of. Especially considering that you're planning to gorge yourself on.
What you're considering?
Yeah, considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. She sticks out her tongue in reply, yes! The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one. Like, I can see the appeal of Emmy. Like, Emmy is a great character, too.
Well, there is probably a reason why the only tag... By the way, guys, as I've said many times, on Twitch, for some reason, this is not a game that they list in their large catalog of games. Don't know why. However, the only tags that show up for this game are Katawa Shoujo and Katawa Shoujo Emmy. So, I think that I'm pretty sure that that's the biggest route in the game is going down the Emmy route.
It seems like it's the only route because all my nice choices led to her. Anyway.
Well, it's because you told all the other girls to fuck off in one way or another.
Apparently. But it's not very short either. It's all downhill or so.
It's all downhill.
It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily. But time stretches out nevertheless.
Time after time.
The distance is right there, in that gray area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either. Thus, the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, though the girls don't seem to mind. Ren walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of worried about starting a conversation, since the last time didn't end very well for either of us.
Oh, that's nice.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah.
Haven't exchanged a single word with her since then.
Disappointing.
Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over cracks.
Like a wallaby.
Balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then she comments on something to which Ren replies in an automatic sounding, nonsensical way that makes makes Emmy giggle a little.
Guys, I really do need to get the bouncing pay attention to me.
As we reached, I don't think it helped. As we reached the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall.
Oh
Feel
God,
one
no!
hit the top of my head. Damn it, square in the head! It hit my soft spot! It hurt! But it also felt good. I was really hot. Then 2 more hit my nose in quick succession. It's not 1 or 2 rain clouds anymore. It's all rain clouds.
It's
Damn it, Sayori.
I already said, oh no!
A retired sky has turned shadowy gray. Billowing rain clouds swirl right on top of us. Damn it, I'm soaked already! No, my phone! I had such storage!
Oh shoot, guess we aren't gonna have a picnic then.
What now? Maybe we could have a rain picnic. A picnic in rain.
No, we don't just catch a cold, and I don't like getting me or my snacks wet.
I kind of like it. Not the snacks part, though.
Getting a cold?
The getting wet part.
I mean,
If he considers our problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up.
okay, well, you're about to have 2 girls on your... Wait, hold on.
Hold
Jeez,
up.
Look at her face.
Trying to hold it.
You need to finish her mouth, though, guys.
All 3 of us get covered.
Hey, Sal, have you been to the Shanghai yet?
What's that?
You mean to Shanghai?
It's a cafe
The Shanghai?
somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it.
It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait out the rain. If it's just a quick shower, we can still go for the picnic. And if it gets worse, we'll just order cake there instead.
Alright, just bring the whiskey too. Whiskey and rain.
We're in high school.
Coming down. Neither Ren nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street.
Boing, boing.
The cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, we can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder as the monsters begin to appear. Damn it, umbrella. Raindrops leave. Sorry guys, I'm very excited for Resident Evil 4. In fact, I watched the entire playthrough of it. Raindrops leave tiny dots of the black asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like
Pointillist
artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds.
Pointillism is the artwork where you have individual dots of pigment. Like you basically do pixel art.
Oh
canvas.
yeah, those. I love those.
Yeah.
It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars parked on the sides of the street and already flowing in little creeks along the sidewalk.
I mean, technically, guys, every single digital image is pointillism. It's just at very, very, very high resolution.
The yellow light shining through the rainwater, streaming down the windows, looks very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emmy, and now we are all stranded together here in a cozy little place. God, it's a crowd.
Oh god, we can hear the crowd.
Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with
Parisian. As in
style
from Paris.
tables and chairs in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new.
Good job.
Like jazz plays. Light
Smooth jazz.
Jazz plays quietly in the background. I think it's Lionel Richie, though it's mostly drawn out by the murmur of the customers.
Yeah, it's elevator
Only
music.
one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another, and trying to keep up with everything. To my surprise, I think I recognize her.
Come on.
I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pastries.
Okay,
Oh.
you saw that too, right?
Older bro's one light that wasn't working just suddenly decided to work.
It's a miracle.
To another table, it has life again! Taken by Yamaku students, and taken order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us. Yuko.
Not that surprising to me.
Hold up. Now that
She isn't a route now.
Now that she's close and facing me, I see that it really is her, the part-time librarian of Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit, and she has tied her
She actually
hair up
has
in
the
buns to match.
sweat lines of the teacher from Nichijou now.
Yes,
so she's just
does.
like,
Finally, it's a completely different image from her mousy.
Yeah, as in like
style.
a quiet,
Yes.
sniffling, like nervous mouse.
At her job. Yuko blinks a few times, looking confused, then
Yeah.
remembers that she was about to say something.
Welcome to the Shanghai.
So you work here too? I thought you were a university student or something.
Yes, that's too. It's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sunday, so there aren't any lectures. See? She is a student.
Okay.
Oh, she's a university student.
Yeah, an older
That's fine.
student. Still dateable.
Yep, that I was gonna say that and didn't say that because I'm just like, I don't need to be that specific about it. And then, of course, you were that specific about it.
It's almost like
good,
we can read each
good,
other's
good,
minds.
good,
That's
good,
why
good
we're
thing,
psychic.
too. Since today's been so busy, I'm wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, as you can see. What can I get you today?
Another pair of hands. Okay.
Uh,
Emmy doesn't hesitate even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those of a kid in a candy store.
tea for everyone and cake for me.
Yuko tries to stay as formal and professional looking as possible, like the one chick from Nichijou,
Yep.
smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion.
Ravenous, but good enough. Yes, today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake. Done.
Strawberry
Just
shortcake.
put it on the table now. Raspberry layer cake or a lemon meringue pie. Strawberry, no, lemon. No, I'll take both.
Yeah, I actually really liked strawberry shortcake as a kid and Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
But I never told anyone that because I found out that's feminine.
Who gives a shit?
Apparently,
I'll tell
back
you.
in the
I'll
day.
tell you what you really want. Strawberry shortcake, cake.
Yes.
Still the best cake I've ever had.
She looks at me and challenge. I'll take just the pie. A pot pie. Nothing. Emmy makes a face at Ren as though she had bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her for not joining in.
Oh, come on, Rin. That's not polite at all.
Nothing, thank you.
Good.
I don't like anything here, Emmy.
Yeah, good job. No, you silly. I meant that you should order something, too.
I'll take a straw then. My feet are all wet.
Sorry?
I need to drink the rain off my feet. The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Yuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fiddles with her pen and stationery for a moment, looking like she's about to cry before deciding that we've finished ordering.
Thank you very much. They can't even bow, so they just
Wow,
dropped
they
it.
didn't. They can't do a bow animation, so yeah, they did that. At least that's more than what DDLC can muster, apparently.
Maybe.
Because, guys, I have seen an animation on YouTube where Natsuki is like swinging her hands and stuff like that, but apparently that's just an animation for a YouTube video.
Yes, it is.
Just like how the MLP Sins game was.
Yeah, well, sort of.
But at least that's in development.
Yep. Look, Renpai isn't known for its animation.
I want DDLC animated.
It's fine, but Renpai wasn't designed to animate
Then
things.
animate it in a different software. I don't care.
think you can based on
MMD it.
I don't think you can based on the terms of the agreement you signed with Dan Salvato when making the mods for the game. I think you have to use Renpai.
She bows down a little bit too deeply and scampers to safety behind the counter. I could see her holding her heart and breathing heavily. After the ordeal is over with,
Yeah, I didn't realize that we were suddenly going to be jumping into working.
I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings.
Sorry, Wagneria.
Almost every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Let me see what Chef Ramsay thinks about this place. I pull up my phone and search up Chef Ramsay.
You know, he doesn't review every restaurant, right?
I know. Fragments of grumbling. Okay, then I'll say I'm a Yelp reviewer. Fragments of
Did you say Yelp revealer?
No, I said reviewer.
It sounded like you said revealer. I'm like, what the fuck?
My throat's dry, so maybe I said it weirdly.
I don't know.
Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather or discussions over recent homework carry from nearby tables to my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of falling rain and risky.
Luckily, the rain is not in Africa.
After a while, Yuko returns to our table because I can't talk right for some reason. Carrying a tray with a huge teapot, short and stout, 3 cups of slice of cake, and 2 slices of pie. She slaps the tray onto our tiny table with a clatter, almost sending the teapot toppling over into Rain's lap, yes. We barely recover before she bows again and leaves, hurrying off to serve the other customers. Emmy has been eyeing her strawberry shortcake very hungrily all this time. I'm surprised she hasn't dug in already, but somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuko was out of sight and out of mind. She digs in with gusto, while I content with myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Ren's cup.
Wow, they actually brought the straw.
Ren looks at the way the tea swirls round and around in her white china cup. She almost looks hypnotized. Didn't even read it! And her white china cup, her eyes half closed, almost like she is being hypnotized.
Not bad looking pie.
My fork and eye the food. Wow, we actually get an image of the food.
Good.
In front of me, the pie I got looks perfectly done. A thick layer of meringue atop creamy lemon custard. After having the first bite, I pause, savoring the combination of tangy citrus and smooth, sugary meringue. It's quite good, though a bit too sweet for me. If you
see, my problem is I love sweets, but I can get overpowered by too much sweet, so I also have to have a bit less sweet sweets.
Yeah. She's talking through a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small.
I want to taste some of that.
Before I get to respond, she strikes out.
Wait, I thought she got the pie.
At my delicious pie, takes a piece with her fork and escapes with it. She might as well be Sayori for this game. She is our Sayori.
Sorta. This is pretty good too.
What are you doing? You have your own slice.
Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think?
It was rude to not wait for me to respond.
No.
Her insolence is outrageous, but the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation.
Oh, you're a much better man than I, then.
I glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. Ugh! Emmy is even more hyper than usual today, and even more cute, damn it. I don't mind, it's good for her to let off some steam. I take another sip of my tea. It's good and hot, even though I don't usually care much for tea, and the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing. Now, if I wanted to sip tea, I could have just played Three Houses. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here. Not even after Emmy orders her second piece of strawberry shortcake. I will never stop reading it that way. And Ren spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. So she's that one Bulma in credit. She has her hand on. She has her head on her hand. She's staring at the window with her earbuds in. I don't even.
Sorta. The one that.
Do you remember the scene I'm talking about?
Not exactly, but
it's at the end of Dragon Ball. That's their end credits.
Yeah, vaguely. It actually what's going through my mind right now is the lo-fi beat, hip hop beats image of like it's raining outside, person is just taking notes, flipping pages.
Yeah, there wasn't too much animation in the end credits of Dragon Ball, but I still remember the song. I remember the imagery.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? They reused that scene in, I think, one of the Budokai games.
Not surprising.
They use it as the end credits, but it's a totally different song.
Not surprising.
Even Yuko rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing into Emmy's bottomless stomach just as quickly as the previous two. With 2 hours later, despite the passing of time, it's still raining outside when we exit the Shanghai, though it seems to be letting up a little. Too bad it had to rain on your parade. Weren't we supposed to have a picnic, not a parade? Emmy doesn't look too distraught over the turn of events. Why are you friends with Ren? Have you not heard the stuff she says? It's amazing. It makes me laugh.
And I don't laugh ever. No, it's fine. We had a good time, didn't we? I feel really pumped up. It isn't even raining that hard anymore. I kind of want to hike back to school to get rid of this energy and work off some of that cake.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't want to make this rain slower, so they still make it look like it's pouring. She stretches her arms out and arches her back like a cat.
Makes sense.
After rolling her shoulders around twice, she smiles brightly.
Man, I can't really run with these legs, though, especially uphill. I wish I'd brought my other ones.
The notion sounds odd, spoken so casually, but I guess for Emmy, changing legs is sort of like someone else changing shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
Yep.
There are different legs for different situations.
Yep. Maybe if I walk really fast, that'll be kind of like running. I think I'll do that.
I almost wonder if it's almost like a cheat, like she has like specially designed springs to help her run faster.
No, there's
There must be
rules.
regulations.
Yeah, there's rules and
behind it.
regulations behind it.
I won't be able to keep up with that going uphill though. I really am in bad shape. Plus, you'll get wet without an umbrella.
It's hardly even a drizzle now. A few drops won't hurt. I think I'm gonna do the track after I change my legs too.
Why are we talking about Pokemon when we're talking about rain? Oh, I see. Emmy skips away from the protection of my umbrella and goes on ahead at a brisk pace. Suddenly, she seems to remember something as she stops and spins around.
See you tomorrow! Come eat lunch with us on the roof. I'll bring it up for 3.
And now, Ren and I are left alone. Ren and I are left to watch her wave at us and skip off again. Soon she disappears around a street corner. I'll never understand why Emmy is perpetually in such a hurry to get somewhere. So, would you like me to walk you back to school so that at least one of you won't get wet? If you're happy with it. It seems neither of us wants to keep alive the strained atmosphere from the argument a few days ago in the art room, which makes me feel relieved. I don't want to bear grudges, and I'm happy that Ren feels the same way. Thus, it is decided that we are content with each other's company from now on. And we start walking in the same direction as Emmy. Albeit. I've never seen albeit.
Yeah, it's not a
written.
weird... It's a very strange word. To be fair, albeit feels like it should be 3 words.
Yes. Anyway, albeit at a considerably calmer pace. I'm surprised. I've never seen this word written.
Yep,
This is the first time I'm seeing it written.
Yep. It's very strange.
Oh boy, we get a cool scene. I get a bit closer to Ren.
I mean, yeah, you have the free excuse.
Yeah, even though the umbrella is already big enough to shelter us both. I can feel her nearby warmth, providing a contrast to the chill of this rainy weather. Raindrops. Is it me, or does this scene look off?
I feel main character's face feels a little bit like different than the normal face, but
yeah,
I
this
think
almost
this
looks like different art.
I'm gonna say I think there was a team of I say team. I think there were a couple different people who did art for the game, so this probably was drawn by somebody else.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're like, okay, we'll use the best scenes we got from different artists. This one.
It wasn't like that. I think there was a couple different people. Basically, here's how this game was made. This game started out in development, and then everyone left, and then new people came in and started again from scratch, and then everyone left, and then new people came in and started again from scratch, and everyone left. And then finally, the final team came in and actually made the game. But even the final team had tons of people leaving and coming in. So basically, the final version of this game was developed by like 6 people who were the constant main people over the project, and then a completely rotating cast of everyone else that was doing like the grunt work from 4chan.
Did they ever make any more games?
No. They came together for this game only.
Oh.
It was not a company. It was made by 4chan.
Raindrops hitting the umbrella make a distinctive sound. Playing the staccato melody of rainfall for nobody in particular. I would pay to have this company.
If anybody hasn't watched it, I would highly recommend watching the video talking about how this game was made, because it is insane.
I realize I haven't been outside in the rain in what feels like forever. I inhale, taking in the scent of rain, feeling the weather with all my stresses. I've actually not been outside in the rain for a while. Oh, senses, yes. The world melts into a blur inside the rain.
That's true.
Unfortunately, didn't have the whiskey. The colors of the sky have deepened from gray to dark blue, with hues of red added to the mix from the sunlight reflecting off the clouds. The low-hanging sky looks pretty, as if like fireworks. I remember that firework day when Ren was sleeping on my shoulder. It's still numb. As if I could reach out my hand and touch it. Have I told you how much I like rain and whiskey? No. Well, I kind of figured you'd say that. It's like painting. It makes me feel connected. I mean, speaking of connections, can I have your phone number? Almost echoing my thoughts, Ren lets out one of her own. It slips out of her mouth, circling around us gently. Everything looks so soft and fluffy. Like the outlines of things just disappear. I like it. It's like the rain is hugging me. Her voice sounds different from usual. More gentle. Now and soft. I wonder if it's only because of the rain. Or because of the mood the rain brought upon the quiet artist girl. I look stupid. I feel that mood in myself too, enhanced by her words. Yeah, I like rainy weather too. It's nice every once in a while. I wonder what is it about the rain. Everything. A silence follows the statement, as it allows for no continuation. We just stare at each other as we walk all the way to school. Don't even know how we got here. We didn't look forward once. I decided to push the direction of the conversation a little. But you know, if you like the feeling of being connected, what's the problem with showing your paintings to others? Don't you want to be connected to other people? It's not the same thing. You're comparing apples and squids. I brought up the subject Ren wants to avoid, and it shuts her down again. The question stays hanging between us for the rest of the trip back to school, and I can't help but wonder what on earth I could have said to truly reach Ren. Does she feel that she's lacking an identity? She has a strong personality, but if pressed to elaborate, I'm not sure I could describe it accurately. She feels like a person who is in constant conflict with herself. I never know what to expect when I talk to her. I wonder how she herself experiences that disconnect. If Rin is asking herself every day, who am I? Too Snoo. And obviously paints images. Obsessively paints images to define herself day after day. What does she think of that way of living? The irony is, that's the exact same question I've been asking myself for the past 4 or 5 months. For me, it was miserable. I can only assume that it's the natural state of being for this girl.
Misery.
When we stop in front of the dormitory, Rin turns to face me, as if sensing my thoughts from afar. Her gaze travels emptily past my left shoulder into the shapeless rainfall. Her dark eyes seem to suck the low ambient light into themselves, like a reverse mirror. That empty gaze lets nothing out. If I want to understand what's going on behind those eyes, I have to work it out myself. Ren opens her mouth, then closes it without saying anything. The silence lasts for a few more moments before she takes a step towards the dorm building door. See you tomorrow. And like that, Act 2 is done.
Nope.
I know.
We still got plenty more in Act 2.
I know. Like, guys, this is definitely a longer game than Blue Skies. We're gonna be done with Blue Skies long before Katawa Shoujo. The next morning, like every second Monday morning until he says otherwise, I have an appointment with the nurse. They allow me to skip part of my class in the morning, and I don't feel any shame in skipping the rest either. Rather than being thankful I get to miss world history, I instead feel dread when I think about these appointments. I wake up in the morning, love, at the normal time anyway, and wash myself in the bathroom I share with Kenji.
Yep, I
locked the damn door.
I was gonna say, it is an in-between bathroom. So it's like you live there in one room. The bathroom separates your room and Kenji's room.
I wish you could lock the door.
For many reasons, but no.
Tidying my disheveled hair, I quickly get dressed and put my laundry in the basket. I pack up for the school day. I have all my homework done, like usual, so I have a bit of free time now. There's no point in going to the morning class for 20 minutes before I'd have to get to the nurse's office, so I lie down on my bed and I read a book until it's time to go. This time I read Bleach, Volume 1. The door of the nurse's office is open, which is unusual. I enter while knocking to announce my arrival. Looking up from his computer screen, he motions to take a seat with a friendly hello. Steam wafts up from a piping hot cup of coffee on his desk. It's probably not his first today. How are you feeling on this wonderful morning, Hisao? I'm alright. I think it was cold yesterday because of the rain, so I woke up feeling a bit groggy. You too, huh? Quite a few kids got caught without an umbrella, so we've been spending time handing out masks and carrying sniffles. Alright, today it's test day. Give me your arm. I am Lord Cell. I extend my left arm towards him, keeping my face expressionless.
Emotionless. I mean, that's the
same thing.
Yeah.
The nurse ties a rubber tourniquet around my bicep with a practiced movement and briskly goes about his business. I don't think anybody really likes getting stuck with needles, but at least I got over my distaste for them. I had to. Now I barely even twitch at the movement of truth. So you know how younger sis hates needles and doesn't want it?
Yep.
Bestie's worse.
Yeah.
She told me one story where literally like 3 nurses had to hold her down to get a needle.
I mean, I've gotten better about it. Weirdly, COVID helped, but yeah. There was definitely during the first one, I was tensed up enough that they were like, yeah, you should definitely relax a bit.
When I was a little kid, I didn't like shots too much, but after getting 1 or 2 shots, I stopped having that problem. I just naturally said, here's my arm.
Yeah, I tense up a bit too much.
Once that's done, a blood pressure check follows. Then there are checklists and questionnaires to go through. The nurse nods and scribbles in my answers to the questions as I give them. Alright, let's have a listen now. I unbuttoned my shirt and put it neatly on the back of my chair I was using while he puts on his stethoscope. You didn't have to take it off so quickly, Isao. Boundaries, mister. I know, but heart, the order of places where he's going to listen to my lungs and heartbeat. I adjust my breathing to be even and deep without even being asked. It's become routine now for both of us. It's funny, this is pretty much the only time in one's life when you really concentrate on breathing and nothing else in fine dining. It has always amused me. The nurse lifts the cold steel stethoscope from my chest and places it a few inches lower, listening again. I then take a sip of my drink and I put it on the desk.
By the way, that can be picked up by all the mics,
I know.
So. It sucks.
The contact of the metal makes me flinch on reflex, even though I was expecting it. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. If we talk a lot, we're gonna need a drink, and I need a drink every stream because
no, it's fine. It just definitely is picked up and kind of sucks. There's nothing we can do about it.
I think even if we had the best filtering equipment, it would still be picked up. So
Yep.
There's nothing. He furrows his brow, but I can't tell if it's because he's unhappy or if he's trying to pick something specific out among the complex multitude of irregularities in my heartbeat. Is there something wrong? Please don't talk. I shut up and become more anxious. The nurse is nice, but I can't help disliking these mandatory checkups. I wonder if I'm going to end up hating all medical appointments from now on because of these. We finally lift the circular metal plate from my chest, allowing me to talk again. Everything seems fine. Are you feeling alright yourself? I suppose I was out yesterday when it was raining, and yeah, I really felt a bit under the weather in the morning. Maybe I caught a cold. Were you with Emmy? She came down with a cold too. My people told her to stay in bed for a day or two.
I'm sure that she's not happy with that.
Really? I mean, I was with her, but I didn't know she got sick. I guess it was a dumb thing after all for her to go out in the rain like that. Yeah, well, let's put that aside. Everything seems to check out for you, but remember to be careful. Of course, I really don't want to go back to the hospital. He catches something, maybe repressed terror, I don't know, in my voice and glances up from some papers he was looking at. Hey, don't worry, at this stage it won't take a huge crash in your condition to get you re-hospitalized. It doesn't really assure me, but grumbling about it to him won't make any difference. I quietly take my leave. Walking along the corridor from the auxiliary building to the main school building, I encounter a young female nurse coming the other way. She smiles at me when we pass by each other. We don't get to see her. The lobby is empty of people. No surprise, since classes are still going on. I hear muffled sounds of discussion coming from behind the first floor classroom doors. I glance at my watch, my smartwatch. I'd have to rush to get to my classroom in time, and I don't feel like going to class anyway, so I decide to climb up to the roof and have an extra long lunch break. Emmy promised she'd bring something for me today, but if she's sick,
If she's 6, I mean, she does act sick
probably
sometimes.
not gonna happen. I'm not feeling hungry anyway, so it's all the same. The climb up the steep stairwell to the roof is oddly liberating, almost like losing weight. I feel satisfaction that it doesn't win me as badly as it did the first time I came up here. I push open the squeaky door at the top and step into the sunlight. Little did I know, Ren is there, on the ground again. The chain link fence allows for a grand view over the treetops, if you can call that a grand view, all the way to the gray silhouettes of the downtown further away. I mean, it's hardly a grand view when the fence is in the way, but that's me.
You stand over the fence.
The dreary weather of yesterday is just a memory now. The silvery blue sky seems to be a mere arm's reach away. I forget for a moment that I'm in a bad mood. The warmth of the sun soaks into my bones, making me drowsy and lazy instead. The bell rings for a lunch break, settling me back into reality. Ren's probably gonna come up, see that Emmy's not there, so she's like, oh. Soon afterwards, the quad below me bursts into life. Students pour out of the doors down on the ground floor, intent on enjoying lunch at the quad and the lush gardens in this perfect weather. Ugh. When I hear the door to the stairwell being pushed open, I don't bother turning to see who it is. The intruder starts coming towards me with uneven footsteps. The little river stones, the roof is covered with rattle and crunch underfoot. Crunch underfoot. The footsteps stop a few feet behind me, followed by a silence. I look upwards into the glowing eye of the sun, absorbing its warmth with my whole body. What are you doing? Turn around out of curiosity at her first words to behold the slim, awkward figure of Ren Tezuka. She looks very much like herself today, too. Her hair is maybe a tad messier than usual, as if she just got out of bed. She stands with her weight shifted onto one foot, looking at me with mild curiosity, as if I were something in a store's display window. I don't know, just spacing out, I guess, like you. What about you? Emmy promised food we usually eat here. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. I heard Emmy came down with a cold. Oh, I guess that makes sense. She wasn't in class. It's not that common to get a cold in June, though. You don't think she went running at the track afterwards like she said? The rain just kept going. Probably. In the rain? In the rain. That sounds like a bit too much for just keeping up with trainee regimen. Emmy is regime. Training regime. Emmy is a hard-headed one, though, so I can see her running in the downpour just because she had to. Well, that's obviously overdoing it. Probably why she came down with that cold, too. But I guess it's kind of cool. Speaking of that, I'm not feeling well either. Achoo! Ren sneezes pretty hard. It'd be funny if this was a joke. Failing to stop in time, she cranes her head down to wipe her nose off her shoulder. So, deciding that would be too unladylike, I pull out my handkerchief and hold it to her nose. Here, bless you. Thanks. She clears her nose, and I dab the handkerchief gently on it, wiping it clean. Her nose is really cute. Yeah, oddly enough, it's probably the girliest part of Ren's face. I think I'm blushing a little, but Ren doesn't notice.
How do you know that?
Thanks. I think I might be coming up or down with something too, like I was saying. Hope not. You might want to go get yourself tested. I just sneezed all over you. Damn it! Ren doesn't seem to be bothered about eating, so despite the lack of Emmy provided lunch, are we on a date? We stay up on the rooftop. She comes over and stands next to me, right up against the fence, looking into the same abstract distance as I am. Nobody else seems to be coming around to intrude upon the calmness either. It's quiet and peaceful. Oh, that sounds nice. What does one do on a lunch break if not eat? Turns out that between the two of us, we don't really know. Fortunately, passing time is an activity that manages itself just fine. Even though there's no conversation to fill the silence between the passing seconds, she speaks a lot of words. No pointless activities like cloud gazing to spend upon the minutes between now and then. Time marches on, and time marches on relentlessly.
That is what I was assuming was about to happen.
I keep checking the time on my watch. I didn't see that those were the next words, so I wasn't prepared for it. Then decided it's a dumb thing to do. Instead, I tried to hold out for as long as possible before I check it again. Maybe I can hold on for 6 or 7 minutes. Ren remained silent, idly looking up at the Cerulean City expanse above us. Wonder why. More often than not, we don't speak much. She said that she doesn't like speaking because of her perceived difficulties with expressing herself properly.
Like younger brother.
As for me, I think I just got sucked into the habit at the school.
Hospital.
Sorry. It is hospital.
Yeah.
Where I spent such a long stretch of time never really talking to anyone. Most of the time I feel comfortable about this quiet mood, and even when I get the feeling that I have to break the silence, it's always so difficult to come up with something to talk about when it's with Ren. She and I are on such different wavelengths that nothing seems to be on common ground. What is it that you like about the sky so much? She turns to me, her eyes dark and serious. I look for Roger, the space alien. Sky is the only thing that is perfect. I know. You could say I'm an expert of sky if you wanted, and I am even if you didn't want to, a sky expert. Maybe I should do some stargazing too. Stars. It's always different, but it's always perfect also when it's different. I follow her gaze up into the boundless blue expanse, thinking of her words. Have you ever wanted to be something different? It would be so bad to be the sky. Sorry, it wouldn't be so bad to be the sky. No, I mean something else, someone different. To go to a normal school like everyone else, not have to worry about stuff. What stuff? I tried to find the right words for a moment, but can't manage to form a sentence that I'd be comfortable with actually using. Man, I don't really want to say that out loud. Okay. Try. I'm not so good at mind reading. Don't you ever want to not be disabled? She thinks about this and shakes her head, frowning. That's a hard question. I don't know what to say. It's okay if you don't say anything. For some reason, I'm just so unsatisfied with who I am right now that I'm constantly thinking of stuff like that. It's pretty hard to admit, but there it is. Honestly, I feel relieved about finally saying it out loud to someone, even if it's just Ren. I think I want to be different sometimes. I've thought about changing myself lately, but it's a bit scary, like walking backwards with your eyes closed. She doesn't like change.
Yeah.
The difficult part is to know where your toes are not pointing. Directions. Even if I don't do anything, I would never stay the same. It's like my old paintings. They're different than what I paint now, because I'm different, because I got better. But they are still my paintings, so there's something same. That's really strange. I am different every day, but I'm still me every day. Who am I? I am Ren. Is that a riddle? Do you like the Riddler? If you want it to be. I don't know the right answer though, so you have to come up with it yourself. Well, it's the sky, isn't it? Going by your definition just now. Actually managed to surprise her by that. Maybe she had already forgotten about it. That's right. But I was thinking about myself when I said that. Very strange. You said you wanted to be the sky, didn't you? Could it be that I am actually the sky in human form? I don't think that's possible. Your logic's a bit off somewhere. She looks down and shuts up. And I can see she's quickly going over the deduction mentally, seemingly unhappy with the result she finally arrives at. Yeah, maybe I'm not the sky. Would make sense. I have a hard time knowing what kind of person I am. You're not the only one. It's like my mind is in some other place than the rest of me. Underwater? That should be a question mark.
No, he knows.
Oh.
Because she said it so many times, he's not questioning.
Yeah, I wonder how it got there. I have no answer, so a brief silence falls between us for a moment. I shift my gaze back to the sky above us. The last time I really paid much attention to the sky was, I guess it must have been at the hospital. I could only see a thin strip of sky from the window of my room, I walked up to the windows and pressed my face against the cold glass. The strip became bigger, but not by much. That sky made me feel sad and lonely. I know you're feeling blue, you miss him so much. A reminder of the world on the other side. I wonder if there's another world beyond the sky we see from up here on the school's roof as well. Multiverse theory? Yeah, that. I can't stop comparing life at Yamaku to my hospitalization. But I really should. I'm not there anymore.
The truth of this is that this is definitely something that being disabled happens, or it can happen, where it's like
it goes deep.
Well, no, like that. But it's like you can definitely be in the situation where
we can actually see what that white dot is now.
Yeah, well, it's only a down arrow on this screen. But yeah, you can definitely have the situation where you get into you have the accident, and you're in the hospital and you feel trapped, and then you get out of the hospital and you still feel trapped. So it just feels like you're still in the hospital and you can never move past.
I felt like I'd gone to prison.
Yeah, literally. That happens to people who go to prison too.
Yes.
You go to prison and you come out of prison.
Is this still a pine cone?
Well, no, but it's like you go to prison and you come back out after years and you physically can't comprehend how to reintegrate into society. And so a lot of people, that's why a lot of times it's very rare to be a one-time offender in prison. Usually if you go to prison, you go back to prison. And it's often not because you're a terrible person. It's just because once you've been in prison for a while, you've grown
accustomed to it.
You grow accustomed to it, and you just don't understand how to not be in prison anymore.
Yeah,
like it is a huge problem with the prison system.
My coworker was in prison for 4 years and he came out clean.
Yeah, and that can happen, but it is very easy to be like to go into prison and not be able to mentally comprehend how to leave prison.
Like
even while you're in the real world.
He told me he was just young and stupid. He drunk while driving, and that's how he got it.
Yep.
So he decided to better himself after that.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out. The narrow sky from the window of my hospital room, the faces of the doctors, the faces of my parents, the off-white walls everywhere, Wadika's letter echoing the words she never said. They're things of the past now. I wish I could forget everything up until now and that time would stop completely. There would be only me, Ren, and the sky. Wait, I included Ren. An eternal lunch break on the rooftop. Perfect. Unchanging and forever. I'm not sure if I like or hate this school. I could have gone to a normal school if I wanted, but I chose to come here. Why? I just decided I would. Kind of like melon or plum jelly. Do you think it was a good idea? I mean, there are a lot of good things about the school, but I think there are a few bad things also. I know. I kind of collect people because they are interesting. People here really are amazing, most of them, but not all. Some people can't take it. They hurt too much. It gets really bad sometimes, you know. They hurt. I wonder if you're like that too. I hope not. I don't like things like that. Hey, I'm not your case study. I'm glad I chose to be a little like at me. I'm not going to give up and die or anything. Anyway, I meant more that this place is too distant from the real world. What's the real world? Everything out there. Real people with normal everyday lives that fit together like a puzzle. You don't think we aren't like that, real people? Maybe we aren't. Well, no, we are. I just meant that it feels more like we're the leftover pieces. Ren thinks for a while. Her almond-shaped eyes narrowing as she bites her lip a little bit like a child. Is it hard to be disabled? Her question earns a dry chuckle from me. You tell me. You've been in this business a lot longer than I have. Damn!
They're having this conversation in like the most dry way possible.
She thinks about that for a while. I don't really feel that disabled. I mean, I do pretty much everything differently, but it's not that hard. I can always practice. I started to practice food things this year. I think I'd want to learn to cook in a real kitchen someday. That's admirable, but I don't think it's just a state of mind. Maybe not to you. I'm no good counter to that, so I concede by falling silent. The situation is making me more and more confused.
That's good. Congratulations. You found a person where you have a conversation with, and you're not left with answers, you're left with questions.
Yes. I know what I want, but don't know how to reach it. Ren seems to believe she can simply will herself into the shape she thinks she needs to be, but can't decide whether she wants to be a bird or a butterfly. I think in the end I'm not really that happy with who I am either, but that doesn't mean I regret being who I am. That's the thing that's wrong with you, Hisao. I've only started to process that rather blunt statement before Rin suddenly hugs me. Huh?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
and that's the true statement of it's. Wait, how does a hug work when you have no arms? Is she hugging you with her feet, or is she just kind of going up to you?
I think she's going.
Is she going up
to
an
you.
NPC ramming into you?
I think she's going up to you and using her shoulders to kind of give you a gentle hug.
I guess.
I've never been hugged by a girl who with no arms before. To be honest, it doesn't really physically feel like a hug. The awkward way she's pressing her body against mine and the lack of embracing arms makes it feel like she fell on top of me. But the warmth of a real hug is still there, and that's how I recognize it for what it is. I'm hugging you, Hisao. Yeah, I figured. I know that, but... Is it wrong? I thought this is what you're supposed to do. I'm not really used to this kind of thing. The first time Emmy
This is the
hugged
first time
me,
we've seen her mouth. Like
Yeah.
her actual inside of her mouth.
I got surprised and kicked her in the stomach. Ooh! I can kick pretty hard, so she hasn't been hugging me an awful lot after that. It's not wrong, no, it's just me. Things are a bit hard for me. For the time being. I can't seem to react properly to anything. Yeah, her hugging you, this is
why the two of you work well together, because neither of you can really react properly to anything.
Yeah, you kind of balance each other out in a way.
I didn't say that.
Really? So, it is hard being disabled after all? I guess she has me concerned there.
Cornered
there. I don't have the energy to start arguing against it, but I feel like I have to get something out. Well, no, it's not hard. I think it's just me overthinking things. I really wish I didn't feel so sorry for myself all the time. Wonder if I always was this fragile, or if I became this way after my incident. Nothing had ever truly shaken my world like that before, so there's no telling. We'll stop after the hug.
Yeah.
That's where I was going.
That's fair.
When Ren presses her cheek against mine tightly. Aww. I can feel the warmth of her body close against me. Her body temperature feels really high, as if she had absorbed the sunlight into herself and was now sharing it with me.
Or she's sick.
Or perhaps it's a natural state of her. By the way, Hisao, I'm sick.
Yeah, she did say she's sick earlier.
Body warmth. Also, it's not the first time we've been this close. I remember you, the shoulder pillow. In fact, that's what I call you, my shoulder pillow.
No, that's weird, dude. Don't do that.
It's the most comforting thing I've ever felt in a long, long time. Wow, your heartbeat really does sound really weird. It's like a drunken...
Percussion
orchestra.
I mean, that's about right. I mean, that's what you get when you...
She only hugged you to listen to your heart.
I mean, that works too.
I did say I'd listen to your heart, and damn it, I wanted it. Please don't say stuff like that. I get very uncomfortable. I laugh at her comment anyway. In an attempt to ease the tension, it sounds a little bit too forced. And I'm sorry, I'm such a mess. It's okay, it's the best part of you. Oh, so now you like it! Hearing that doesn't make me happy. She breaks off the hug and settles down and softly whispers. An awkward silence falls upon us like a blanket. Me feeling embarrassed about myself, and Ren trying to arrange her expression to something she likes. And like that, the hug has ended.
And so must we
the
for
still
today.
hug, the still hug has ended.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that. That was great.
It really was.
Alright.
Very good.
So that's gonna be it for today's episode. So like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch, comment to our videos and do read them, follow on Twitch, and we'll see you guys in the next Katawa Shoujo with maybe more hugs. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.